She's back. This your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or good night, wherever you at on the map. What's good? Now you see me, now you don't, huh? And I'm pretty sure that those of you who follow me on other platforms, you see me posting. I'm not hiding it. I'm not going anywhere. Although when it regards to this, I have become a little more strategic and a little more creative. You know, the Dean is mentioned on most platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as Spotify. Spotify and YouTube keep this thing official. It keeps the frequency alive. So tap in, tune in, stay connected. For who knows when I might post again. But those that support me silently or out loud, I know y'all probably thinking, oh man, here we go. What happened? What happened to the posting every week? What happened to having a certain time every week? What happened to having a certain day every week? I know that consistency was something that I was transparent with you guys about in the beginning, because this is a passion project. So it's something that I like to do. But I'll have you know, because I'm working with what I have, and that's a very small support system that actually supports me out loud, that actually shows up for me in different ways. I'll say that I'm working with what I have, and I also have to get out into the real world outside of this digital space and make a living and provide for me and my little family, okay? So I did let you guys know in my last video, in my last post, that I'm looking at what I do for working outside of the digital space, outside of sharing my creativity with you guys as a way to express myself and put myself out there, just simply being creative. I'll have you know that outside of the digital space, I am too very passionate about what I do in the corporate space. I'm not one of them people that's going to tell you to quit your job. I'm not one of those people that get on camera and tell people to take a leap of faith and leave what they know to be stable behind. Because me personally, I'll never do it. And if I lost my job, I'd probably cry like a baby. Just real talk. Just real talk. I'll have you know that I'm very passionate about what I do in the corporate world as well, alongside of building my staying power, because I had a very young start. I've been doing what I do in the community as well as in healthcare, in the hospital system. Long care started and restarted and tried again for the last 9.5 years. So even when I thought that I wanted to be a business owner and stop everything, I realized that my moral standard is to always have something structured and stable behind anything I do creatively. Because I'm such a creative generator that I can start something today and be like, oh, nope, I want to do something else tomorrow. And that's just me knowing me. So I'll never tell people like, quit your job. It's all in the universe. It is all in the universe. But there's nothing wrong with having both. And there's nothing wrong with having your own way as the means to build. Okay? So I've shifted my perspective on my hiatus regarding my creative projects to think and shift in my perspective and look at it as a brand deal. So what I've come up with is, because of my faith, the size of a mustard seed, because of my belief in quantum physics, it's all with the universe. And if you believe as a man thinketh, because, everybody always got a question of like, what are your beliefs? As if that's going to make an individual any less of a good person. Whatever they believe in will determine if you respect them, or I don't know how I go, because I'm non-binary when it comes to that. Like I don't left, right, black, blue. It doesn't matter. But because of my belief in self, because I believe in the magic that helped that tree in your backyard grow, I'll say I have shifted my perspective and decided that anything outside of my creative endeavors that I want to pursue, what I would like to one day pursue full time, is considered a brand deal. So I'm a Pisces. I have an Aries moon. I'm on Aquarius cusp. And with all of those things said, I just wanted you to know a little bit of what I know. Quick disclaimer. Every class has a different level of understanding. So I totally understand if anything said here or seen here is not aligned with you. That's okay. I'll let you know something else. I'm a dreamer. So the delusions could be delusions to you. Like how you perceive them, how you receive me. It's totally up to you. It's about how open-minded you could be. So the shift in perspective, I'm good for it. Okay? Anything outside of my creative endeavors, I'm going to consider as a brand deal, and that helps me build my staying power. Wonder why is she telling us this? What do this got? What we about to talk about? What? It's gonna be quick. I just wanted to make a point. Whatever systems that you build to stay aligned with whatever you have in mind, that's for you, right? Some of us are able to build platforms, digital creative spaces, make a name for ourselves in a digital world. And that is beautiful. That is powerful. Because somebody all the way across the world gets to see you, hear you, feel you, whether you know it or not. And getting notoriety, recognition, credibility, clout, fame, opportunities, whatever your goal is, you can put that out there, or whatever out there on a public platform. There are so many out there. You can have somebody literally washing their baseboards because you recorded yourself washing your baseboards. Oh wow, it's summertime. I think I should do that too. And they call that influencing. And if you got a large enough following, you got a blue check, you got enough clout, notoriety, enough people that know your name, enough of the right people, then you are considered an influencer. Just like that. But I'll have you know, some of us hold influence and carry influence and are able to influence people, whether good or bad. The conscious level is up to you. In real life, in real time, by reaching out and touching somebody. Some of us hold a different influence that allows people to study us in real life. I've seen people travel from one side of town to another. I've seen people travel from one state to another just to hear about who the fuck is the dean. And I am not kidding. And I'll tell you, when you get closer and you find out that I do everything that I do from my living room, I'm meeting people and they say, where you get that? Or how did you get invited to that type of event? Because I'm outside in the community in real life. Like, I walk everywhere. Not because I like walking, but because I don't have a car. This is influence as well. I want you to know that. So when we talk about me disappearing for a minute on when it comes to this podcast style sit downs with the dean, I've shifted my perspective. I've allowed my creative delusions to lead me when I say my job that I clock in at. When you see me on here as a passion project, if you know a professional that can use the message, by all means send it to them. Let them know though that every class has a different level of understanding. And I totally understand that anything said here, seen here is not aligned with you or your crew. But if you see me clock in real life and you don't want to let go of what you thought you seen in this digital space when I unplugged for the day, if this was to ever get shut down, I want you to know that when I punch the clock, I'm passionate about what I do in real life. I know that there's classes and masters at public speaking and podcast spaces and how to make a 6-figure podcast and teaching all of these classes on how to be consistent and beat the algorithm. But I'll let you know something. I'm a single mother. I'm a boy mom. My son will be 9 this year. I'll be 30 next year. So I've shifted my perspective to say, I'm not going to say this ain't real. Because this type of influence is somebody's reality. All they got to do is plug up, charge up, and connect to the Wi-Fi. And that's it. And they can get their notoriety, their recognition. They got friends all over the world. And then it's me. And it's like, yeah, I'm using this as a tool to build a personal brand. But I'm actually focused as well on living out that brand. Do you get what I'm saying? So I like having influence in real life. Being able to reach out and touch somebody and say, what's going on? How you doing? How you feeling? Oh, okay. And I'm talking to my realtor, who is a professional, you know what I mean, as well. So for those who support me out loud and silently, I want to say that I have been inspired. And this is just still the beginning. We only 6 months in to the year. And I know that sounds like, what? Only? No, baby, listen. I'm telling you, creatively, I told you, I love what I do corporate, on the corporate wise. And we're going to consider that a brand deal. Because we're going to stay locked in on that. Because we're getting older, we're maturing. And staying power is what builds character. But that's what makes you the boss. Right? But when it comes to my creative endeavors, something that ain't never going to stop, I've been inspired. I left for a whole entire week. I took flight with me and my son, just me and my son on this trip. I'm inspired. This was my son's first flight, and he loved it. It was not ideal. I'll have you know, in the beginning, it was not ideal. For a whole week, I had a whole week planned out. I was coming off a 12-hour shift. I left that morning, like fresh off my shift. I went to go pick up my son. We was on our way to the airport. We arrived Sunday morning in the daytime. I had a little layover. Do you know I didn't leave? I had a layover in Tampa. I didn't leave Tampa. I arrived Sunday, didn't leave till Tuesday afternoon when the business day was done. Okay? I didn't leave Tampa till Tuesday. We still made memories. We made every reroute count. I have been inspired. It was the inspiration, the motivation that I need, honey. I can say that getting away, coming from Cleveland, heading to Mecklenburg County. We ain't know nothing about Tampa. Well, shout out to Tampa. Shout out to the two young ladies. One had kids. She was from Florida. I think her name was Bree. Her name was Brittany. I told her, can I call you B? She said, yeah, I got her number, honey. Shout out to Miss Laura. Because they played us a little bit. They played with us being out of towners. I guess that come with it. Whatever. Shout out to you two young ladies because they helped and they seen me and my baby was in kind of confusion. And confusion had us standing still, and that was no good. But I will say we made memories along the way. I will be back. Shout out to Tampa. What's good, Florida? Hello, Florida. We will be back. I'm telling you, it was so inspirational, motivational, and all I could think about was Project EI. That's all I could think about the whole time. This could be big. Hello? Hello, this could be big. Listen, and you know I love a Caribbean man. They were everywhere. Okay? All right, call me back. Like, they were everywhere. I repeat, they were everywhere. You hear me? The culture. I instantly went into creative mode, but I went into creative mode like I was channeling the energy that was around me. And it was just, I just had to write so many different things down, and I did. And this trip was the inspiration that I needed, y'all. So excuse me for those who support me out loud and support me silently, who are rooting for the staying power that I'm working so hard to build. And people around me who are already on, they don't want me to get that. Trust, let me tell you, I don't think you guys understand when I say inspiration, motivation, when I say creative blocks, all of them just, it was so like what I needed, so much so that I almost went back and was like, I'm about to delete everything that I posted up to this point. And then I was like, no, I can't do that because that wouldn't show, like, this is still building character right now, what we doing right now. But trust me, I got a different strategy over the last, like I said, I planned for a family getaway, me and my son, for a whole week. And we stayed for a whole week. We was gone for a whole week. But within the first 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was already thinking of a different strategy on how to produce and how to perform. I was crying at Tampa before I even made it to my location. I was crying. And then I met Miss B and her boys and her brand new baby girl. They looked out for me and my son at the airport. I won't even tell you how, because people like to weaponize things that they find out and word on the street and this, that, and the third. But listen, that lady treated me like she knew me already. You hear me? And I will always remember her. I got her number and everything. Like, it was one of them type of, like, I said, girl, next time I'm in Florida, I might have to call you, girl. She said, nah, I might not come back. I said, well, girl, I'm going to find you wherever you go, baby. I'm going to find you. Shout out to her and her family, man. This is all happening in the airport, by the way. Like, this is all happening in transit. And we just crossing paths. And I got to say, right after that, I pulled out that notebook again. Let me jot this down, because when it comes to influencer versus holding influence, being able to influence, being able to shift the perspective of somebody in real time, just simply, hey, how you doing? You okay? How you what? Oh, you need da-da-da-da-da. I seen a lady, I returned the favor. The lady, I ain't even gonna tell y'all I can't tell y'all the details because it was a real experience. And that goes back to like being an influencer and having influence as well. It's certain things that never get to hit the camera. But I'll let you know this. I was inspired by the experience that wasn't so ideal, as well as the experience where we had a ball, where we almost didn't want to come back. And this was not, you know what I mean? This wasn't even that type of vibe. We was just going to have a good time, link up with family later down the line, and whatever travel. Your systems are. In the beginning, I talked about I'm a Pisces. I'm a dreamer. I believe, so I am. And that's what it's going to be. And it is what it is, and it ain't what it could have been. That's my mode. That's how I operate. Whatever your system is to get you to fall in line and be aligned with what you feel like should be yours, could be yours, I'm telling you, man, this my reality. This really happening to me. I had a lot of that over this week, this last week, man. I had a lot of experiences like, this is unreal. For real? This happening to me? I was so happy, so filled with joy to see my son being able to do it with me too. So that means, and everybody that's a parent know, when your kids is with you, you don't have to rush back. You don't have to worry about who's doing what, who got who when you're not there. Because they right there with you. I got everything I need right here. I got everything I need right with me. And that was like reassurance as well. That's what made me be able to fully be in that moment and like soak up the energy of that moment. And I'm telling you, I will be back. There will be more travel. I'm thinking about incorporating vlogging. I don't know. Y'all know I got to research the research before I get to choosing and picking. And I might just stay in my own lane and find a creative way to document. But I'm telling you, being fully in the moment, getting away with my child right by my side, that made it even the icing on the cake. But whatever your systems are, no matter how delusional it might seem to somebody else, or however they perceive it to be real or fake, making it your reality, I want you to find that system, because that's where my strategy is coming in on these next few episodes. I'm telling you, I wanted to come home and delete everything I've posted up to this point just to show y'all, like, oh, another rebrand. Here we go, right here. No. I want to keep y'all with the ability to look back on who I was and how I was and what I said then versus how it's coming after I get these eureka moments. After I get these, remember I said I wanted to do that? Now we doing it. I love that. That's the dreamer's best thing, is when a dream come true. And I hate saying that because it's real cliche, but it's real. It's somebody's reality. Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. I want to thank you for your time as always. Whether you're tuning in now or tuning in later, whether you're returning or you've been here, welcome, welcome back. It's always a pleasure for you guys to take your time out to hear me yap. Like, you know, that's so special to me. It's so special to me because I'm something that I'm passionate about. It is obviously something that I do often, is yap. You already know we on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as Spotify. So make sure you tapped in, tuned in for the next time, because who knows, the next time I might post something. And then I might post it in a different setup. So, you know, just stay tuned for that, because new things are coming. I want to thank you again. I can't thank you enough. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I just want to leave you with one thing. I want you to set up that system so that you can live out your manifestations, like in real life. What system are you setting up in your mind? Whether another person, it might be delusional to somebody else, but you know it's not delusional because you got your mind set on it. What type of systems are we setting in place so that we're living out what we put on paper? How are we being more than just an influencer, but an actual person who holds influence? A person of influence who can influence and shift the perspective in real time. This your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog, signing off.